What's up YouTube? This is GC Off-Road. In today's video, I'm going to be removing my instrument cluster from the dash and try to make a skin to go over top of it to change the color of it. What I've done is I've installed an LED strip inside the plastic cover that goes over top of the instrument cluster, and when the lights are turned on, I have LEDs in my floor, and if you can see, it lights up the background of my panel in here. So what I'm wanting to do is I'm wanting to pull this whole cluster out, take the clear cover off of it, and paint, or line, skin it, whatever you call it, the background in a lighter color. That way it lights up better under the lights. The first thing we're going to have to do is we're going to pop this panel here off and this one right here, and that should be the only two that we have to remove. And you can just use a pocket knife, a flathead screwdriver, something like that. You may be able to do it by hand. Let's see. Yeah, you see it just goes on with a couple of clips, and that'll give us access to these screws here that we have to remove to take this cover off. Okay, so what I've done here is I've removed all the screws holding this panel on. Next, you want to find something to use as a wedge, either like a putty knife or a flathead screwdriver, something like that. I don't have anything handy, so I'm just going to use my pocket knife, and you're going to come up here right in between the plastic and the top of the dash, and you're going to pry down on it and pop it out of place. You'll see there's a gap that'll open up, and once you get it freed up all the way down through here, it'll pop out from under the dash cover. Then you just reach up in, lift it and tilt it down at an angle, and bring it straight out and over to the side. Back in here, you'll see there's two Phillips screws on this side, and there's two on the opposite side, right there and right there. So what we're going to do is remove those 4 screws, and the dash cluster will just pop straight out. Okay guys, my phone overheated while I was pulling this out and the recording stopped, but all I did was tilt that out, and the plug fits into a little groove back there, and unless yours is broken like mine, once you pull this cluster forward, the plug will come undone. So like I said, just unplug that and tilt this out. Now, these are not held on like headlights or anything like that with glue. You have these little clips down here that will pull the clear cover off, and there's these black clips here that will separate the actual instrument panel cover from the panel, which is this back white piece. So I'm just going to try to pop these out real quick and see if I can get them to separate. So what I did here is I just kind of laid my flathead, or in this case my pocket knife, down and put tension on it, and then popped down the tab with my thumb, and I broke them all loose. So now we're just going to open it up like this. There's the clear cover and its trim, and here is the instrument cluster. Again guys, the heat just caused my phone to stop recording, but the cover here, it just lays down inside of it when it's all popped together. So this is the only piece we're going to actually need out of the assembly right now. So I'm going to take this, get down the shop down here, and figure out how we're going to cover this. So I'll let that dry, then I'll come back and put a couple more coats on until it's all evenly colored. Alright, so I didn't bother filming any painting because most people know how to spray paint. This is still drying, but there's how it's turned out so far. So I'm gonna let this finish drying, and then we'll go up here and throw the oh hell, we'll throw the gauges back together in the opposite way that we took them apart, and then reinstall it and see how it looks. Okay guys, so I've got the assembly put back together, and getting ready to plug everything back up and throw the cover back on. So I'm gonna do that off camera, and I'll come back and show y'all how it turned out once it's reassembled. Okay guys, well, there's what it turned out looking like. I'm satisfied with it, and let's see if you can tell. Black, gray, and the blue lights, I think it pops good. I can't wait to see what it looks like at night, see if it reflects the blue LED better than the black did. There you go guys, that's a just a cheap, quick mod you could do if you don't like the all black gauge cluster. Y'all seen how easy it was to disassemble it and paint it and throw it back together. Took me like 30 minutes, including time for the paint to dry good enough for me to reassemble it. Cost me, what, $1.99 for a can of paint. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and turn this over and make sure my gauges still work. Well, all my lights are working. Start it up and see what the gauges do. Well, all the gauges seem to be working, except for the fuel hand, which is busted. It's either on a quarter of a tank when it's full, or it's bottomed out 0 and there's no in between. Anyways, this thing's pissing oil, so I'm gonna shut it off. I ain't gonna run it. But there you go guys, that's how it turned out. It only cost me about $2 and 20-30 minutes of my time. As always guys, I appreciate y'all watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel.